All right, so for this game, we have what is effectively just a grouping game. We got a bunch of these paralegals that we're going to be assigning to these 3 cases. So we'll set it up based on the cases. We've got R, S, and T. And we've got the 5 paralegals, F, G, H, K, L. And I suppose, rather fortunately, we are told that every single one of these is going to go exactly once. So it is a one-to-many setup. So there's just going to be 5 people assigned across these 3 cases. Now, in terms of spacing, they actually do give us a minimum. We are told that every single one of these is going to have at least 1 person assigned, which is great because that means that 3 spaces out of 5 are taken care of. There's only 2 extra spaces to kind of bounce around. So there's only 2 ways that this is going to go. Either one of these groups is going to end up with 2 extras. So you could have, for example, 3 people under 1 and then 1 and 1 for the other 2. Or you could have the 2 extra people split up. So you could have, for example, 2 people here, 2 people here, and then 1 person there. So either it's going to be a 3-1-1 distribution or it's going to be a 2-2-1 distribution. This kind of thing won't always kind of, make the game, but quite often it can do quite a bit of damage. So it's the kind of thing that you want to think about up front. Anyways, the rules. First rule tells us that either F is going to R and K is going to T, or F is not assigned to R and K is not assigned to T. Now, this is really just a very complicated way of saying that either these 2 things are going to happen, F, R, K, T, or neither is going to happen at all, which effectively translates into what you would expect of a biconditional relationship. And that's generally what a biconditional relationship says. It says that if one of these 2 things happens, then the other one has to as well. But if one of them doesn't, then the other one doesn't either. And it's not a bad idea to kind of symbolize it that way. We can kind of say that according to this rule, if F goes to R, then K is going to go to T and vice versa. And alternatively, if F does not go to R, then K will not go to T and vice versa. Either these 2 things happen together, so if one of them happens, so will the other, or neither will happen at all, so if one doesn't, then neither will the other. Next, either F is the sole paralegal or G is the sole paralegal to their case, but not both. So basically, either we're going to have F alone or G alone, but I guess we can just clarify, not both. Lastly, H has to go to S, so that's kind of nice to know. H just goes straight there, and we can lock that in place, which actually means that, wait a minute, so F and G, they're not going to go into S, so one of R or T is going to be alone. And if this is F who goes into R alone, then I guess K would have to go here. But I suppose that's kind of it. But then again, F doesn't have to be here alone either. Actually, I suppose if it does, it would be, because if F goes here, then K goes here, then the only way for F or G to be alone if it was the F over here. But again, that's only if F was alone there. F could also maybe go alone here, which has fewer implications, or G can be alone in one of those 2. So you know what, I think let's just take a look at the questions. Let's see what we can do with what we have. Question number 18 says, which of the following could be the assignment of people to cases? So standard exclusion question, we go by the rules. First rule says that if we have F going to R, then K has to go to T. So answer choice A has F with R, but we don't have K with T, so we can get rid of answer choice A. B, that doesn't trigger, C doesn't trigger, D doesn't trigger, E does. We have F with R, and again, K is supposed to go to T, which they're not, so we can get rid of answer choice E. Now, it is worth noting that this rule also goes the other way. If K is with T, then F would have to go to R. Let's see if anything triggers that. If K is with T, so answer choice B, that doesn't trigger, C, it doesn't trigger, D, it doesn't trigger, so we're good. Next, one of F or G is going to have to be alone, but not both of them. So answer choice B has G alone, not F. That's fine. C has neither alone. We can get rid of answer choice C. And E has F alone, but not G, so we're good. Now we're just down to B and D. Lastly, H has to go to S. And between B and D, that would get rid of answer choice B, which doesn't have H with S. So best answer to question number 18 becomes answer choice D. And as usual, I suppose we can plug that into the board. We have KL GH, and then just F. So from there, let's take a look at the local question. So question number 20 is our first local. Let's see what we can do. If exactly 2 paralegals are on Thompson, so if we have to have, I guess let's plug in the H over here, and now we have to have exactly 2 people under Thompson. Well, we know that one of F or G is going to have to be a single, and the only place to do that is now going to be here. So we know that, first of all, we're going to have 2 people over here, 1 person over here. Now, could it still be F or G? And I think it could, right? Because if we put an F here, then yes, K is going to trigger to go over there, but that's fine. And if this is a G, all that means is that we cannot have K over here because then it would have forced the F into R, but we could have a K over there. So I think we're a little bit flexible. You know what? Let's see what we can do with what we have. Maybe this is enough information. The question asks, which of the following could be the complete assignment to the R case? So we just know that it's going to have to be either way you go, an F or a G here. So I guess that's answer choice A. That's the only viable answer to question number 20. Next, question number 21. Let's take a look. If one of the cases has G and L as the only paralegal, so that's quite a bit of information. So we have to have G and L together, but moreover, they're the only ones there, which means, so I suppose what's going to happen is we're going to have F alone, since G is not alone. And the H is going to have to be with another person. It's going to have to be a 2-2-1 split since we already have exactly 2 people together. So that takes care of that. Now, actually, wait. If we put the F over here, we would have to put the K over there, but that's going to interfere with the GL block. So we can't do that. So this can't be an F. So your loner F is going to have to be over here. And then the GL block is going to have to go over there, and then the K is going to go into here. Nice. Let's go. The question asks, each must be false except. So if we're looking for must be false except, that means that we're looking for the one answer choice that could be true. Answer choice A, F goes to R, and no, that cannot be true. Next, F goes to S, nope, that cannot be true. Next, G goes to R, and yeah, that could, in fact, it has to be true, so we can hold on to C. Next, K goes to R just in case. Nope. And L goes to T, and no, she does not. Best answer to question 21 is then C. Next, number 23. Let's take a look. So if K is the sole paralegal assigned to one of the cases, so okay, so if K is alone, so that's interesting. So we're going to have another person alone. So wait a minute. That means that K is going to be alone, one of F or G is going to be alone, and they're not going to go over here. So it's going to be a 1-1-3 split, and the 3 is then going to have to go into the middle, and then the 1s are going to have to go into here or into there. Now, so if we trigger K over here, then this will have to be F for sure. And if we put the K over here, then I suppose we're a bit more flexible. This could then be either F or G. Yeah, so let's actually, we might be able to do a bit more with that. Let's just run that. We can either put K here alone, or we can put K here alone. But in the second scenario, if we do that, if we put KT, then F is going to have to go to R, and that's going to be your other single. So then G and L are going to be in the middle. Now, in this template, though, okay, so we know L can't be under Thompson, so L is going to be in the middle, but this could still be F or K. So we can say, F or G rather, we can say F or G is going to go here, and then the other F or G is going to go there. Okay, let's go. The question asks, I wonder if that was all necessary. Which of the following lists all the paralegals, any of whom could go to R? So I guess that would be either K or F could go to R. Those are the only people that can go to R. So the best answer choice here is answer choice B for question number 23. Next, question number 19, our first global question. Let's take a look. Which of the following cannot be the complete assignment of S? I guess let's take a look. Answer choice A, could we do FHK under S? Now, we haven't seen that yet, to be fair, not historically, but would there be anything wrong with that if we did H, F, and K? I suppose because I mean, that takes care of this rule. That's done, and then G can be alone. I don't see the issue there. If we put HFK under S, the biggest restriction would have been to worry about this thing, but neither of those would trigger, so we're good on that. So answer choice A seems like it would be fine. B, can we do FHL under S? Now this we've actually seen historically. We've seen the opportunity for F, H, and L, so B easily could happen. Answer choice C, could we do G, H, and K in the middle? Now that we haven't quite seen yet, although, I mean, in this scenario right here, couldn't we easily take the K and put them in the middle here? Because that wouldn't trigger any of this, except for the fact that K is not in T, but then F is not with R, so that's fine. And then one of these two is alone, so yeah, that seems like we could easily do that to have G, H, and K go into Sicoli. Next, could we do G, H, and L in the middle? And again, we haven't quite, actually no, yes we have. We've seen H, L, and this could have been a G quite easily, so D could have happened. Answer choice E, could we do H, K, and L in the middle? And this we haven't seen yet. I suppose, could we, if we do H, K, and L, that just, oh no, that would leave you with F and G, but then F and G would both be alone in R and T, and that wouldn't work. There it is. So answer choice E, that cannot be a setup for the Sicoli case. Best answer is answer choice E for number 19. Lastly, number 22, which of the following cannot be, again, now we're looking at the Thompson case. So what cannot be a complete setup for Thompson? Answer choice A, could we have just a G under Thompson? And yeah, we've seen that happen right there, so that could have happened. Answer choice B, could we have just an L under Thompson? Now that we haven't seen yet, but I think that might be fine, because if we put an L, just an L over here, then we could have, for example, just a G over there, thereby taking care of this rule, and then F and K would both go into Sicoli, which takes care of this. So I think that would have been fine. Answer choice C, can we do just G and K under Thomas? And if we did, if we put a G and a K here, I guess the KT would force F into R, but that seems fine as long as F is alone there and then L can go in the middle. I don't see the issue. Answer choice D, rather. Could we do just G and L under Thomas? And if we did, if we have a G here and an L here, oh no, that wouldn't work. So if we do G and L over here, then F is going to have to be the one who's alone, and they're going to have to go over here. But if you trigger FR, then it forces K to go back into T, and that wouldn't be the complete list then. So G and L cannot be the complete list of people under Thomas, because if you put G and L here, you would also have to have a K, and that wouldn't work. Best answer is answer choice D for question 22. Just in case though, answer choice E, could we do K and L over there? And I suppose if you put a K here and an L there, then that would force F to go into R, but they could be there alone, and then G would go in the middle with H, so I think that's okay. Once again, best answer to question number 22 was D.